Hi, everybody, and welcome to this new edition of Off the Record. I'm Ambrish Baliga. Here we chit chat with the founders and management of companies which are listed or in the process of getting listed to understand the company and the sector, and more importantly, understand their thought process and vision. India has witnessed 80,000 plus landslides in the last 25 years. It results in innumerable loss of lives as well as property. Even roads in these regions get affected badly, cutting out commuting as well as communication. One of the main reasons for these landslides is excessive or poorly planned civil construction, which destabilizes the slopes due to excavation, altering the drainage and removing of vegetation and trees, which loosens the soil. Then a seismic activity or heavy monsoon triggers a landslide. In recent times, India has been building huge number of highways and expressways, many of them cutting across mountains. And we have encountered landslides and boulders from mountains falling on expressway, endangering lives. I've seen this happening personally on Mumbai-Pune Expressway during the initial phase. How did they solve this issue? They solved it by constructing retaining walls, using gabions, and high tensile rock-fall nettings. Gabion is basically a wire mesh cage, like a basket, filled with rocks, concrete, or soil, used in civil engineering and landscaping for erosion control, retaining walls, and stabilizing slopes. The company I have today on this podcast is with the same name as the product, Gabion Technologies India Ltd, which is one of the major players in this space. It is coming out with an IPO on BSE SME on 6th January. Glad to introduce Mr. Madhusudan Sarda, Chairman and Managing Director, Gabion Technologies India Limited. Mr. Sarda has 25 years of experience in marketing, Gabion manufacturing, and geotechnical engineering. He holds BSc in electrical engineering and computer science from MIT. Welcome to this podcast, Mr. Sarda.
Thank you so much for the lovely introduction, Mr. Ambrish.
First of all, I'm keen to understand, how did you get into the space? You set up this company in 2008, and before that, you were with Pioneer Wires for 5 years, which I think is also into Gabion business. So, is this a group company, some connection? And you can also tell us as to how you got into this.
See, after I graduated from MIT in the USA, I never wanted to work for an American company. So I came back to Nepal and India. My family lives in Nepal actually.
Okay, okay.
So then I joined the family business, which Pioneer Wires is a part of. But then that was in Nepal, but I wanted to do something in India.
Hmm.
So I started this business on my own in India.
Okay.
And I have always been passionate about infrastructure and how the growth of infrastructure happens and how the infrastructure builds over time and how it can be made sustainable, etc. So that was my passion throughout. And through my experiences in the from my work experience in Nepal as well as from my background also earlier in my family business, I was pushed towards this field, and India was not having these many companies who were doing this at that time. So I thought it was the best time to enter India, and India was poised to be one of the world leading markets. So I wanted to be where all the action was happening. So then my company, we were able to purchase a plot of land in Himachal Pradesh,
Hmm.
and that belt being a mountainous belt, and we were able to have a very captive market at that time, and that helped us grow over the period of time. Although when we started this business, the acceptance of these new products and technologies was low in India.
Right.
So initial years were a little struggling at that time. But
Hmm.
now, when we at this time now, everybody is now aware of the problems.
Okay.
See, up to the time you make only two-lane roads, it's okay.
Hmm.
The slopes. can self-stabilize.
Right.
But once you have to cut for 4 lane, that mountain and that hill is going to become unstable.
Absolutely.
It will fall off anytime. And now uh, the perfect way of actually executing these projects is first to do the slope protection and
Right.
then to build the road.
Okay.
But because of lack of knowledge and awareness, what has happened is first the roads are built, first the mountains are cut, the roads are built,
Right.
and then you already have landslides.
Yeah. So once you start having landslides, then you start putting gear bins.
Then everybody's eyes are starting to open,
Right.
and then there are budget constraints.
Uh,
Okay, how do we do this? Then there is very selective mitigation measures being taken. Okay, one or two places we will do solve the problem, but then other places start having problems. So currently there are currently, like, the number of landslide mitigation projects is like doubling, exponentially growing in
right.
India,
And I think,
because all the roads that have been built now, everywhere one by one slides are happening.
right. And I mean, as of now, for every new expressway or highway being built, does this form a part of the project now, or it is still afterthought?
Now it is a part of the project, but the budget allocated to it
Right.
is still not sufficient because the total scope is not understood actually by the authorities. But
Okay.
this is changing very rapidly now. Companies like us, when we interact with the authorities and when they see that things are failing badly,
Right.
public is complaining, the image of the government and the national highway is getting ruined. Even after investing so much money, the result is not very happy. So
Absolutely.
now, but then the burden comes onto the main contractor who is building the road, because
Mhm.
he has not allocated the budget while
Yeah.
bidding for the project.
Because
So,
see,
but
even today on the
hmm,
Mumbai-Pune expressway, still you have certain spots where you have these landslides happening. But fortunately, I mean, the road being so broad in those areas, that it is not stopping the traffic. But then,
while you mentioned the Mumbai Pune road, I would just like to tell you that we have done a slope stabilization project for the main contractor AFCONS in the missing link section of there's a section which is called missing link, Mumbai
right,
Pune. It's near Khopoli, I think.
right.
Uh, so that region, we have done a slope stabilization work for AFCONS.
Hmm.
So
Uh-huh.
just since you brought that up,
Okay.
currently our major work is going on in Raipur Vishakhapatnam Expressway.
Hmm.
Raipur Vishakhapatnam Expressway that goes from Chhattisgarh up to Andhra Pradesh, and it goes through a very hilly terrain of Chhattisgarh, yeah, Odisha, Andhra. So in that stretch, our designs and technologies and products are approved by authorities, and we are doing most of the slope stabilization happening there.
So basically, you design, you manufacture, and you install.
Yes. So
Okay.
you can call us like slope ka doctor.
Okay.
What happens is, a doctor, you will see a patient with a disease, like that. We go to see slopes.
Hmm.
स्लोप के डॉक्टर है हम.
Uh-huh.
स्लोप जहाँ भी फेल हो रहा है या होने का चांस है, हम जा करके देख करके बताते हैं, अच्छा यहाँ पे ये सोल्यूशन देना है, ये सोल्यूशन देना है, लाइक दैट.
Okay. And see, I mean, what we see behind you in your frame,
Yeah, yeah.
that's not a Gabion, no? That's a net, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a slope protection, slope stabilization product,
Okay.
uh, especially the drapery product. Drapery means we are, like a curtain, we are draping the slope with a suitable strength netting, and
Right.
other characteristics also required like erosion control, etc.
Hmm.
And also an integral part of this work is anchoring.
Uh-huh.
Anchoring is a process whereby steel bolts or hollow steel pipes mostly is the technology that is used now, which is continuously threaded, is drilled into the strata
Okay.
and grouted with cement. That is how the internal strength of the slope is provided. And
Okay.
then the meshes are used for covering as a drapery and connecting all the anchors together so that the whole system works as one to stabilize the slope.
Okay.
Now, uh, in our manufacturing, we are doing the gabions and the nettings, etc. We are not doing the anchors or also lots of auxiliary products are there in other structures that we use like geogrids, etc. So our future path is
Mm.
very much uh, possibilities of lots of possibilities of going into production of
Mm.
many of these other
All
products,
products you're
which
saying.
are, yes, which are also integral to our work. And the unique part about our company is that we are a one-stop solution.
Mhm.
Either you have manufacturers who are manufacturing product, or you have contractors who are executing the projects.
Right,
But we are one of the very, very rare companies in India who
right.
are providing the whole package, right from the design. And design is very, very critical. And
Absolutely.
it is very rare. That capability is very rare right now in India.
Mhm,
See,
mhm,
all the conventional design firms and design technocrats, they do not have these new technologies in their portfolio
mhm.
because slope protection is a relatively new field in India.
Yeah, right. And tell me, in this Gabion manufacturing,
Mhm.
I mean, what are the ingredients? I mean, clearly it is rocks and stones and wire and concrete. Now, these rocks and stones also you are mining, or how is it?
Sir, first of all, I would like to say that it is concrete is not a component of this.
Okay,
See,
okay.
concrete is a technology which is uh, failing in these conditions where high structures need to be built or slopes need to be stabilized.
Okay.
Because concrete, there is a limitation of cost when it comes to high structures, building high structures.
Mhm, mhm.
So these are so conventionally concrete is used in construction, but our work is in the field of non-conventional. So
Okay.
all our technologies are called non-conventional so far, but it is becoming conventional now, becoming very mainstream now.
Mhm. And it is also environmental friendly, if I'm not wrong, since
Yes, of
you're
course,
using
it's
natural.
environmentally friendly because it allows vegetation to grow over it.
Mhm, mhm.
In fact, the we also do a activity called hydroseeding, in
Okay.
which we are able to spray a slurry of ingredients onto the slope along with the seeds, which then germinate and then
They,
fertilize
they hold
themselves
the soil. They
and
hold
grow into vegetation. So
right.
and produce and cover themselves up.
Okay.
So that is how we function. And
Mhm.
coming back to the gabions, they are essentially made out of woven fabric of steel wire. For example, you're wearing a shirt.
Yeah.
It is made of by weaving of threads
Yes.
of cotton or whatever it may be.
Right.
Now, for slopes, to dress a slope, we are making cloth woven using by weaving, manufactured by weaving steel wires.
Right. Right. And inside that you have rocks.
Right. So steel, but after making the cloth, those
Right.
cloths are fabricated into boxes.
Right.
Now, either they can be fabricated into boxes or as it is, they can be draped on a slope.
Right.
Now, the nettings are draped on slopes, and when they are made into boxes, they are filled with rocks, and on the ground, structures are built
Okay. And these rocks are filled at the location, or they're
at
at
the location.
the
So
location.
what happens is when you're like in the background you're seeing, when the slopes are being cut, lots of boulders are
Well,
automatically generated.
absolutely. Absolutely.
So now the gabions will come to the site and they will be filled by the rocks readily available there,
Right.
and it becomes a cheap option.
Okay.
And the added advantage over concrete
Hmm.
is that these are flexible structures.
Right.
Now, flexibility helps how? It helps because if there is stress dissipating, let's say a lot of soil mass has accumulated on the back and there is a pressure of slide, then these structures can slightly deform
Yeah, they absorb
and
it.
that stress dissipates.
Yes. Yes.
Whereas your concrete wall will either keep standing or it will crack and break.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's true.
The flexibility is a big feature of this kind of this product.
Okay.
And also it's called a double twist mesh actually.
Mhm.
The double twisting of the mesh protects it from unraveling. Like, okay, even if the boulder will cut, impact of a boulder cuts it in a couple of places, the net is not going to unravel.
Right.
So these are the features of the product.
See,
And now the market is growing very fast of these gabions.
Mhm.
And we are going to increase our capacity from the current 9,000 to 18,000.
Yeah, that was my other question. I mean,
Yeah.
your capex, you kept it only about, I think, 1 crore or so, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, because we have already gathered resources to
Okay.
increase the our production
Capacity.
capacity. Already we have the resources to do
Okay.
the capital expenditure.
Okay. Because
So
already,
we have ordered machineries and everything, and from 9,000 we are already uh, made the arrangements to go up to 15,000.
okay.
So 15,500. So only 2,500 capacity we are going to use the proceeds from IPO, the only 1 crore something.
Yeah, that's what I noticed because you currently reached about 90% plus capacity.
Yes, but that after that we have already procured a lot of machinery.
Okay. Okay. And
So with the IPO process, we have only kept this much because we cannot wait for
that's
the IPO, because the timeline sometimes can be can push back or something.
yeah.
So that's
So
why. So but then we'll need the working capital, right?
yeah.
So we are going to use the working capital.
And your new capacity will come on stream by when? In the next quarter or two?
Now, currently, see, when we in November, when we were submitting our RHP, at that time it was 9,000.
Yeah.
After that, in December, our Assam factory has already started production of 2,500 metric ton.
Okay.
That new factory is not in our prospectus because it was not operational in November.
Okay. Okay.
But in December, it became operational. So we have already added 2,500 metric ton in Assam factory.
Okay.
And in our Himachal existing factory, also we have added 2,500 metric ton already. The machinery is in place.
Fine.
So we are already at 13,000. Another 2,500 tons of production capacity machinery is on the way at this moment. And
Okay.
it will get installed within 26, FY 26.
Okay.
So by the end of 26, our capacity will have uh, become 15,500.
Okay. Now tell me, in the last 3 years,
Yeah.
I've noticed that your top line, last 3 years in the sense FY 24, FY 25, and up to November, your
Mhm.
like revenue has been more or less flat. I mean, was it because of the capacity constraint?
Yes, in fact, we were not paying too much attention to manufacturing at this time
Uh-huh.
in terms of increasing our manufacturing capability, because we were focusing more on the project execution part, because
Okay.
we wanted to, because that is a higher margin business. So we
Mhm.
wanted to increase that business first. So now, after having achieved a certain level in that vertical, we are again focusing back on the production capacity. And now we are going to increase the production capacity, and that will further help to increase our project capacity also. So
Okay. So,
because there is a synergy between those two.
yeah, I understand. So, for your project execution, you need
Mhm.
not be dependent totally on your own manufacturing. You can always get it from outside, isn't it?
Yes, yes, we can always get it from outside,
Yeah.
and also there are lots of other products also which go along with our products that
Right.
we anyway anyhow need to get from outside only.
Okay. Okay.
However, in the future, the plan is to get into manufacturing of lot more of these products
Mm.
which have synergy with each other, so that we can become more self-sufficient, and our margins of operations and costing can decrease and margins can increase.
Okay. Okay. And when I was doing my research on this sector, one company which stood out was Garvare Technical Fibers. I think there's a
Mm.
6,800 crore market cap company is into similar business. So if you can just explain as to what is the difference between your product and theirs and
So
how,
Garvare Technical Fibers
yeah,
is mostly into fish nets,
right.
fishing nets.
Yeah,
They are, I think, one of the largest producers in the world of fishing nets.
that's true. But they've
That-
also got into this space, I think, about 2 decades back.
They had a Gabion factory also,
Yes.
but then they were not able to sustain it,
Okay.
and their production now they are buying from some other people in the market.
Okay. So
Uh,
it is not a competition.
Not in manufacturing, but in contracting, it is.
Okay.
In
Okay.
our services, in our projects, bidding in projects, a lot of places we face stiff competition from Garvare, mostly in the mining industry.
Uh-huh. But tell me, I mean, do they use the steel mesh or they using polymer meshes?
No. The polymer meshes are not useful in the kind of projects that I am talking about, like river slope stabilization and river draining.
Uh-huh.
Their forte is in the polymer ropes. There is a gabion made of polymer ropes also that is mostly used underwater
Okay.
activities.
Okay.
So that their core products are not really in competition with ours, but
Mhm.
however, they do have contracting capabilities,
Okay.
and they generally then subcontract to other contractors. They have
Uh-huh.
got the credentials in by which they are bidding and trying to get projects, and especially in the mining sector where we have stiff competition with them, because apart from the slope stabilization, we are also into environmental engineering work in the mining sector,
Okay.
which is, for example, the major project we are doing right now is for Vedanta Limited,
Okay.
which is ash pond lining. What happens is they generate a lot of ash in their production of
Mhm.
the mineral they are doing, and
Right.
that ash is also filled with water,
Mhm.
uh,
Mhm.
which is, although it is laced with some chemicals, so it has to be first filtered before use. But
Mhm.
then that much water cannot be wasted. So
Right.
the ash pond, first of all, an ash pond is built, and ash pond has to be lined with membrane, which will not allow this water to seep into the soil and
Okay.
contaminate it.
Uh-huh.
And then this water needs to be drained properly and filtered out and made it have it make reusable. So we design this solution and also supply and execute this. So we are doing a big project for Vedanta right now, and we are also talking to JSW right now. But Garware is a competitor in this segment for us,
Okay.
major competitor.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. And tell me, I mean, you said you're there in all the three verticals, but how many other players are there in the organized sector as of now?
See, there are players, but this combination of being in, both
Yeah,
a
it is rare. Yeah.
mainstream, it's very rare. Only
Right.
2, 3 companies are there who do this.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
Garware could be one of them, but they are not really into manufacturing
Okay.
of gabions and rockfall nettings.
Mhm. Now,
So,
uh,
yeah.
I mean, now if I see as to where you're present, I mean, I think you're there across most of the states in India. But the concentration seems to be more on north, northeast, and eastern India, naturally, because that's more of a hilly region as compared to the rest of India. But then with the, I mean, like so many expressways and infra projects coming up, I mean, what are your plans of, I mean, going into the rest of the states and increasing your revenues there? Because I think one of the things which I noticed was the railway project which you've got in Western India. So,
Yes, so the railway project, I was going to say that railway projects are concentrated in Karnataka. We have a very good uh, share of the work in
right.
Karnataka. We have all completed almost 6 or 7 projects, and 4 or 5 projects are going on right now in
Okay.
Southwestern Railway in the Karnataka state of Karnataka.
Hmm.
Also, Goa, we are just got a project for the naval base. Actually, the India's naval base is being shifted to Karwar, a place called Karwar
Hi, I'm
near
aware.
Goa.
Uh,
Okay, so there we are doing Gabion walls and slow protection for a company called NCC, Nagarjuna Construction Company,
right.
who is doing the overall work for the Indian Navy. And then there are also roads there, which are expressways over there, which are also having slope stabilization. We have been contacted and we have visited the sites, and perhaps those works will come online. But so we are spreading. We have a lot of spread all of the place, and the potential is immense. Now we need to grow this stage. We have to pass this stage where we are able to build the organizational ability to get on board all this business, bring all this business, because I mean, with the funds in place, I'm looking at a
Right.
250 crore turnover next year, whereas
Okay.
ours currently is only 120 crores.
Yeah, because I think
Because the potential is there, the potential is built. All of the
right.
place we are present, we have 170 crore order book in hand
That's
for
true.
projects.
Yeah, I think the only constraint was working capital, which you're getting now.
Working capital is the constraint which we are raising right now, and it is going to be a, I mean, See, already we have company has a lot of capital, but it's invested. It
Hmm.
is going to the circle is coming, and the fund is just going to get released. So I mean, we'll be a flush with funds, and the aim is to keep growing. The aim is to go to 250 crore, 300 crore, 500 crore, 1,000 crores. I mean, tomorrow we want to be able to bid 500 crore projects.
Right. Because I think
Because the potential is immense in this field.
potential is huge, no doubt. Potential is
See, we
huge.
are already doing the most complicated works like slope protection and everything, which conventional, the big contractors, they themselves are not able to do. That's why they are asking us to do it.
Now tell me, I mean, what is the life of a Gabion? I mean, if you're putting it right now for an expressway, I mean, does it require regular maintenance and do you do that? And when is the replacement required?
So the gabions are permanent structures. What
Okay.
happens is the steel is galvanized, first of all. The steel
Mhm.
wire is not plain steel. It is galvanized, which means it has a heavy coating of zinc, which
Mhm.
prevents it from corroding or rusting.
Right.
And on top of that, there is a polymer coating also
Okay.
on this wire. So there are two types of coatings which are protecting it. So
Mhm.
which makes it near permanent the structure. So even in the standards, the Indian standard or the American standard, the life of the has been defined as more than 50 years.
Okay. And there's no maintenance required.
No, there's no maintenance required.
Okay.
It just kind of becomes part of the strata, part
Mhm.
of the landscape after a bit, because all the vegetation grow, you'll not able to see what is there.
Right. Right.
That is the goal of this.
Okay. Now, what I've noticed, the other thing is that you have two wholly owned subsidiaries in Nepal and Bangladesh. Nepal is
Yeah,
anyway.
the Bangladesh one is wholly owned, whereas
Mhm.
in Nepal we have majority share. I think around 75%.
Okay, okay. Now, see, as far as Bangladesh is concerned, I think all of us know about the situation there.
Mm-mm.
I mean, when do you think the subsidiary will be able to contribute, looking at the situation there right now?
Yeah,
And
actually, that was very unfortunate because we got a very good project in Bangladesh.
Mhm.
Bangladesh, we were never going to start a manufacturing plant
Right.
because it is because that is not a key. That is, there are no hills or only water bodies are there. Water body, water bodies are good source of business for Gabions, but hills are better source. So
Mhm.
since there are no hills there, we're not never going to start manufacturing plant, but we got a good project there for execution
Okay.
in field of RE walls,
Mhm.
reinforced earth walls, like flyovers basically.
Right.
Uh, but then the company, the agreed payment term, the company did not open an LC, bank letter of credit.
Okay.
And that was agreed at the time of contract. And at the last moment, they backed out of it.
Okay.
So then we did not want to take that risk
So,
in a
so
foreign
there's no
country.
investment at risk in Bangladesh.
Right. There is no investment risk. So the work, so project never started. The mobilization never happened. The fund that we had transferred, we ended up buying some shares. So we have ACC cement shares in Bangladesh. That's
Okay.
it.
Okay. And
And Nepal, we started a manufacturing plant because we wanted proximity to Northeast India.
Mhm.
So all our production of Nepal unit is export oriented. So all of it is imported into India. So the Nepal units
Okay.
exports all its products to the Indian mother company,
Okay. So, what do you manufacture in Nepal?
Gabions.
Gabions again. Okay. Okay.
Yes. So essentially that is a second factory, and now Assam has started. So essentially we have three factories. So
Oh.
this Nepal factory is now proximal to East India.
Mhm.
Guwahati factory, Assam factory is for
Northeast.
catering to
Right. Yeah.
Northeast India,
Right.
and Himachal for North India. And in the future, we should have factories towards West and South also.
Yeah, that's the other thing which I wanted to ask you because the transportation cost would be huge, isn't it?
Yeah, because transportation is a key cost in this.
That's
And
true.
so we have gone into this having multiple factories.
Mhm.
And that is going to be the way forward. We will probably be putting two more factories around India in the
Okay.
near future, looking at the growth of this business, growth of the usage of this product.
Right, right. And hopefully you should be able to set up those factories with the cash generation from your business
Of
itself.
course.
Yeah.
It is, I mean, we have a lot to do.
Mhm.
I must be, and so we need We need more talented people we need to acquire a lot of talent in our
Right.
company, which is one of the things I'm also looking forward to. After gaining the exposure of becoming a limited company, listed company, I hope a lot of talent will be attracted to this company.
Yeah, I mean that normally happens. I mean that's one of the reasons why most of the companies get listed is to get that attraction of
Yeah,
prospective.
because there's so much to do, so much to, I mean, but you need to have, at the end of the day, it needs to be done. Just the potential is not enough.
Absolutely. So,
So
Mrs.
that's how it is.
Yeah, yeah, thanks for responding to all my questions. And I hope watching this podcast helps investors to take the right decision about subscribing to your IPO. And wishing you the best on the road ahead.
That's very nice
Pun
talking to you, sir.
intended, because you'll also be making our roads and highways smoother and safer.
Exactly, sir.
And
Exactly.
this is something which I tell all the IPO bound promoters. IPO is not a goal. Listing is just the first step in the long journey.
Yes.
And I hope you'll continue communicating with your investors and market participants and keep them updated of what's happening in your company during good times as well as during the rough patches. So, wishing you all the best.